How is it to be a neurodivergent business owner? Hi, I'm Dory. I am a small business owner. I own a small creative agency, and I am documenting here all my journey, learnings, and everything I've been and I am going through while I'm building my business. So today I really want to talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about is being neurodivergent and needing to be a leader, needing to run a business. I find that it's an area that not a lot of people talk about, and it has a relevance. I'm ADHD and I'm also dyslexic, and then I find these now being my superpowers. But for years and years, it was one of those very frustrating things that you can't control, you can't work with that, and you really have to find your ways how you're going to overcome issues, for example, that you can't read properly, you can't read things in the right way. You probably have noticed in many of these videos I don't finish sentences, or when I finish them I don't finish them in a way that when you watch them back, because I finish them in my head, but it's not necessarily being finished in real life. And also your energy changes, like as an ADHD you going through a lot of highs and lows, and high energy in 1 minute and then zero focus in the next one. And that is something that you really have to control, you really have to pay attention to, that you have to be present day and night. What I actually decided at the beginning of my business, that I am going to treat this as my superpower, but also I am going to approach it with those cautions that I am not good at certain things. Therefore, I will need to, from the very beginning, outsource certain things like organization, productivity, certain tools that like my brain just doesn't comprehend, Excel sheets, anything to do with them. I would not be good at them. You will need to recognize what are the things that you are excel at and what are the things that it's better somebody else is doing them. I know it's extremely difficult when you get started and you don't have resources to outsource things. If you don't have resources to outsource things, I highly recommend still asking for help. There could be a friend who is more than happy to help you, or could be somebody where you have like an exchange. They get experience and then they do the job for you. So there could be a lot of different ways of doing it, but I definitely don't recommend just persevering and then try doing things that you know you won't be doing, or actually will be making major mistakes in. One of these things, like being a dyslexic person, is really hard to read numbers. And how can you not read numbers when you're actually running a business? I do have basic understanding around numbers. It's for me is the comprehension of numbers. So I need somebody who explains those things to me in the layman terms, as well as leaves me time to understand that like in my own pace. I wouldn't be understanding them in a very quick manner, or like be going through forecasting. I wouldn't get that immediately. And I also learned that like it's better for me if I read things, then I write it down and I also hear it. So you just have to work out your own techniques and then how you're going to go about it. What we are offering at the moment, it needs to have a really high attention to detail. So I go into that almost creating a strategy for myself that I will make a mistake. Therefore, I create the strategy. How am I not going to make the mistake? And I'm creating a strategy of me for that particular task that comes with a checklist that I can work with. It can be as dumb as like post this tick, because that's something that I need and my brain needs that aid to be able to do the job very well. So I would say when you are neurodivergent, it does not mean that you cannot run a business. You just have to have a different approach. So I now am being aware, I'm treating it like I need to have a different strategy, I need different approach to how I do things than others. And it does not need to make sense to anybody else than just to me. So I feel like it is definitely a subject within business that nobody talks about. And within creativity, for me, I am in a very good business because in creativity, both my ADHD and dyslexia really helps with creativity, because my brain on problem solving and other areas are exceptional. Therefore, you will excel at, again, just coming back to the point that you will excel at certain things that others won't see, and then you won't be able to excel at things that others find basic. So just really have an understanding of how you will approach certain things and you will be fine. So do not be disheartened that I can't do things. And I think that's the most important bit around embracing the things that you are good at, and then be just honest about things that you are not, or use AI. Some of the things that actually are really difficult, AI can be a massive help on, and there's no shame in using them. So this is a subject that a lot of people don't talk about. So I hope it helps a lot of people out there who are going through something similar. If you like my videos, please comment and subscribe, and I see you on the next video.